Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Bijan. In today's video, we're going to be talking with Jason and Carson from Sibi Built. They regear trucks, specifically Tacomas and 4Runners. So today we're going to take a look at some of the trucks that's in their shop, as well as the great job that they do installing gears.
What's going on, guys? I'm Jason, co-owner of Sibi Built.
My name is Carson, also co-owner of Sibi Built.
Yeah, so we work on, we mostly work on Toyota platforms. We do full custom vehicle modifications, bumpers, suspensions, lighting, obviously regearing, differential works, fabrication, welding, spindle gussets, alignment gussets, and all that stuff. Today we're going to be talking about regearing. Obviously here we have a couple Toyotas here. This one specifically, we just finished up, got a 488 Revolution gear and axle regear with all new bearing master kits and internals, and we always use Lucas gear oil with all of our regears. At Bad 4Runner on Instagram, he told me to give him a shout out, so he'll be mad if I didn't, so give him a follow.
Let's go take a look at
We'll
inside the shop.
And check out the trucks.
So we're inside the shop right now, taking a look at the trucks that they have on the lift. I got Jason and Carson both set up here to answer a couple quick questions that we often get asked, or they often get asked since I'm not affiliated with them. But tell me, how many trucks do you guys have come in per week, and are most of the trucks new, like this one on the lift, or are they more modified?
Most of the trucks we get, they're a wide range of assortment. Some guys come in stock and then we'll build it all the way. This truck over here actually came in fully stock, and we did all the modifications to it, which we'll get into later. But here we have a couple differentials. We're doing anywhere between like 6 to 8 regears a week now. Doing anywhere between 20 and 45 Tacomas a week total. Not outside of regears, but we also do the suspensions, cab mount chops, and all that stuff. But here are 2 fully completed differentials, just an example of what you expect when you come here to get a regear. So basically everything is going to be properly torqued down. There's no impacting anything. There's no guessing whether it's good. All the pinion bearings and everything are set properly with the drag, with the gauge every single time. Backlash is set with a gauge every single time. There's no doing anything by feel. So everything has to be perfect. And if the gear pattern does not look like this, it does not go back in the vehicle, period.
So Carson, why don't you tell us a little bit more that goes into setting up a differential? This is the rear differential, correct?
Yes, it is. So not only do what we see a lot is improper setup, patterns are always off, backlash is either way too tight or too loose, and that can cause a lot of problems later on after break-in. But here we have a perfect gear pattern is what we like to call it. Proper setup, proper backlash, everything's perfect on this one.
So do you recommend guys buy Nitro, Revolution, or Yukon gears, since that's a pretty big discrepancy?
To be honest, all the gears these days are pretty much made overseas. We use all the different brands. It's all customer preference. We like Revolution the best. They set up the best. They run the cleanest. The break-in's always the cleanest. We also can get Nitro and Yukon as well. They're all high-quality gears from good manufacturers, but we do recommend Revolution over all those. So for all you TRD Sport guys, SR5, any truck that doesn't have a rear locker, we can add an Eaton E-locker or an ARB air locker. We like to use the Eaton E-locker because you don't need an air compressor. There is an extra cost. The Eaton E-lockers are a little bit pricey, around $1,000 to $1,300 for the parts. There's no additional setup labor though, so the only additional labor that you pay is for the wiring of the actual locker itself. We can also do front lockers. for example, if we come over here to this truck, this is a long travel truck that we built from stock. He came in bone stock, good customer of ours. We did everything to it. We just did nitro 529s in the back. This is a TRD off-road, so it already has the rear locker back here. Everything's all good to go, buttoned up with 529s, and we actually are just starting to wire the front locker here. So we ran the harness up, everything's run super cleanly. Here, this has an Eaton E locker for the front, and then we're gonna wire it into an OEM style switch. That way he has everything that he needs, front and back lockers. So if you guys wanna go extra crazy, we can do both.
If I were to buy a brand new Tacoma off the showroom floor, should I come get it re-geared? And how do I know what gear ratio to pick?
These Tacomas honestly pretty much need to be re-geared straight out of the box if you add any kind of modification. So if you're adding 33s, the factory gearing is 3.91, 391, which means 3.91 turns of the drive shaft for each rotation of the tire. The bigger tire size you go, you'll never see 6th gear or 5th gear. You'll always be in like 4th gear and maybe 5th gear going downhill, maybe 6th gear if you're going down a big hill. But re-gearing it, it's going to bring the transmission back up in RPMs, and it's going to allow you to use all the gears in your transmission. It's going to make the driving and the gear hunting of the truck pretty much go away.
So what you're saying is pretty much if I buy a truck stock, I should get it geared.
If you're going to be using it how you want to use it, towing and just driving on the highway, you will notice straight out of the box that the Tacoma gearing, even 4Runner, is it's geared very tall for maximum fuel economy, and if you're driving on any kind of incline, it's going to shift down 5th, 4th, or to 4th gear out of the overdrive.
Would you say that the TSB that Toyota offers is good enough to help fix the shifting issues?
The TSB fixes the shifting issues slightly, and then there are also tunes that are out there. We have our own custom tune which helps the shifting, but honestly when you're cruising at 60, these trucks like to run at 1500 RPMs in 6th gear. The trucks just don't have the power down there to pull it.
So Jason, I know that you guys deal with a lot of Tacomas, 4Runners, 2nd gen and 3rd gen Tacomas. Would you recommend someone go with a set of 529s or 488s? And let's talk about 3rd gen and then 2nd gen.
For 3rd gen Tacoma all day long, if you're doing anything bigger than a 33-inch tire, go 529s. If you're going to be just cruising on the flats with like 32-inch tire, you can go 48s, but to be honest with you, you're probably not going to get the most benefit out of it. Now, 48s are great for say like a 2nd gen Tacoma that has a 5-speed or a 4Runner. 48s are great. We recommend that for like 35-inch tires. If you're going to be doing a 33-inch tire on those platforms, you can also do 456, there are 430s or 410s, because the stock gearing in a 2nd gen Tacoma is a little bit taller than the 3rd gen Tacoma at 3.73.
I want to give a huge thank you to Carson and Jason for having me inside of the shop to talk about Tacomas, 4Runners, and re-gearing. I know there's a lot of legitimate questions that people have, and hopefully I was able to answer some of them today. I'm a huge believer in getting your truck re-geared, whether it be stock or whether it be fully modified. My Ram, that's my truck right now. I will be re-gearing it in the future, and you already know what shop I'm bringing it to. Jason, Carson, and I have talked, and we're going to try and save you guys some money on getting re-geared. So if you want to get re-geared, mention this video in an email to sibibuilt@gmail.com, and we'll save you $200. I'm just trying to do my part in helping out the community, and that's why I'm reaching out and always doing this. I've done this in the past before, gotten over 180 people re-geared from a different shop, but this time I want to do it with a shop that I trust, that I know, that are my friends, that I know that they do a good job, and they have nothing but good reviews. Check Google if you think I'm lying. So huge thank you again, Carson, Jason, for having me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, keep on camping.